So I finally got the top for the Cabrio. It took a while. I ordered this back in December, what is it, January 10th, whatever. It took a little bit. I mean, they have some slow ass shipping, but whatever. I think it was like 600, not much. I gotta find the bill. It's like 6 something. Wasn't a lot. It was like 583 or something, and then plus tax. Good old New York State, it's like 20% tax over here, so I didn't even know it even came with anything. Who knew? What are you doing there? You gonna scratch up this top? Yeah, let's check it out. Let's see what it looks like. That's a little heavy, and that's probably because of the glass. Oh, it's pretty. I wanted to do something different. Oop, let me zoom out the other way. There we go. I wanted to do something different with the top. Yeah, I have the black. That's destroyed. I guess this must be the glass part. Yep. Oh, it's nice. Actually, really nice. Better than expected. Whether or not I'll ever be able to install it, that's another question, But, the really only difference will be, of course, this part here. It's not going to say Audi, unfortunately. I have the other glass, but I would not know how to take it out. Ooh, So, and this is the major flaw on the cars right here. This part. Exactly this part on all of them. Maybe even this one. Who knows? But yeah. Looks pretty nice. Let me stand up. I really hope I could put this on myself. And you know what the problem is today? The problem is today that nobody wants to do any work. Everybody's lazy. Oh, I don't want to get into that. It's like Crybaby Central. So that's why I end up taking on a lot of stuff myself and end up doing it. Is I don't want to hear it. It's not like I'm not in the car business, because I certainly am. But that doesn't seem to help in any way, shape, or form. Yeah, this is going to look cool. What do you think? You like it? You want to scratch it up? Get some black fur on there? Yeah? That's what I like to hear. So yeah, I bought this off the eBay. And they have other colors too. Why does this thing keep unfocusing? So they have blue, of course, regular black, you name it. They have all the colors. But I'm like, let's do something different. Or now I just got to kind of get it on there. Black was only a little bit more. The maroon top was only a little bit more. It wasn't much of a difference. So that's why I was like, let me do something. There we go. There is the mail holder. Not only do I have to change the top, but I have to fix the top. The top is still not right. It's just not responsive enough, and it all has to do with that stupid aftermarket radio, because the VAGCOM will not read it because of the aftermarket radio. So I got a lot of fun projects to finish up this winter. All right, so here we go. We're gonna try. Already took off the Torx off the top. Pretty easy stuff, nothing crazy, anything like that. And just regular Torx. You got to get your set, because if you don't, with the Audi, I had to buy this crappy one the other day, but you know what? It works. It is what it is. So there is supposed to be zippers inside here, and I did feel it on the other side. Yeah, I feel there's like a zipper. Just saw another video, and they say you could just unzipper these things, and I know there's a zipper on the new top over there, so that's what I'm going to try to do right now. Unzipper. The only problem is I can't feel the actual zipper itself. I feel the material going across, but again, I got gloves on. Interesting zipper. The zipper has no zipper, because I checked the driver's side and I'm at the end right here. This is where it is, and I don't see it. What is it, in the middle? So I've had the top up halfway, whatever, and I was like, I stuck a screwdriver in this little piece here to kind of wiggle it a little bit and got somewhere, but only until now was I able to actually move this. Maybe it's under not a lot of pressure, resistance, whatever it is, but I'm gonna try to work it from this angle to get this main piece out. Okay, finally got some progress. Yeah, there's no directions. Nobody on YouTube is telling you shit. Of course not. Why would they want to do that? So here's the deal. This here, this piece of fabric is attached over to here to this Torx 25 T25. All right, these are all 25s also. I already took that out. I took off the plastic panel. Thank goodness I didn't break it. I'm just very afraid of breaking things. I mean, stuff is old, but this is the way it came out. All the tabs are still there. Just pull one at a time, slow. See, now you know there's 4. I didn't know, but you could kind of feel it when you were pulling it. Now there's this piece here also I took off. I don't think I have to take that one off, but I did. So it also loops around to hold it, but I'm still kind of investigating things now. The big deal is it's got like a little window gasket, glass, like black gasket maker, whatever you want to call it. So it also had, where'd it go? Where'd I put them? Oh, here they are. Also had these in here in the channel. There's a channel in here. It's hard to see because this stupid thing will not sit. Okay, so in between here, there's a channel, and then this thing goes in it. Almost like if you've done a, what would you call it? You know, base bars for snowboard, stuff like that, skis. You put that plastic, the rubber stuff in between. It's kind of like that, but it was hardcore. I actually got to take off the other one. So there's one in the middle. Let me show you. There's one in the middle. And there's this one that goes on the curve. So they kind of go to almost the motor to here, and then there's one at the other side. And this is actually below this. It's in this channel right here. So this here will go right in that place, and then you could kind of stick the screwdriver in there. It's hard though, you got to really meddle with it. So now I finally got somewhere. Feels like this is pulling up finally. I actually broke some stitches, but who cares? I really, you know, I was actually just going to cut this thing off. I mean, I started to get to the point where I'm not getting anywhere, so let me just like start to cut the top, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to try to remain calm on this one. All right, let me show you where I'm at now, just so you have an idea if I'm not being clear enough. All right, so this is that little piece there I told you. See, it is really holding it in. There is something there. There's like some rubberized stuff in there, so I'm gonna have to take this side out too. I'm gonna put, you know what, here, it's gonna go back down. And I have to take out that Torx, that T25 on that side, just like I did on this side. But you know what, I ended up ripping it out. I mean, that was the only way. But look, it looks like it may actually come out now. Wow, so much easier now. Let me tell you, the tension is all gone. I know this wire has something to do with it all, and I don't want to cut that. That is for sure. Now this wire has to go through the whole top, so I will not be cutting in any way, shape, or form. Oh, there we go. So now it's out. So what I got to do is I got to snake this wire out of here, and then I can cut actually. Oh, there we go. Ah, life is becoming a lot easier. You know what, I don't really want to make such a big mess with like cutting this top apart either. But this was the pain in the neck. You know what it is too? You got to look at the new top and get an idea of what's holding it together versus looking at the old one, because I'm telling you, this thing is really in there. I mean, the tension is ridiculous. You know, this was actually weird too. This little, I don't know, do you think this is this is like a full factory one? Yeah, it has to be, because actually it has an Audi on the back, yeah. Originally I saw this little tag, and then there was the sticker. I was like, maybe the top was redone, but no. Come to think of it, it does have the Audi logo on the back, so yeah, it was kind of weird. It was tucked up underneath. But I'm going to pull out this wire, and then what you got to do is you got to snake it back through to the new top, and that's kind of what holds everything together. There we go. But I need my 2 hands to do it. Yeah, make the incision. It's worth it. It just doesn't pay. I wasn't able to get this side either until I had to cut it. I have no choice. But look, just cut to here. You could see where it goes. You just need to cut back a little bit, but look, it doesn't matter because the zipper part is in the middle anyway. So you want to make the cut at this seam and then start to pull off. That's all it is. Yeah, much better. There's that piece right there, the wire, that will come off. Yep, here we go. Just like the other side. Much easier to do it this way, guys. Something else they don't give you is the zipper. How genius is that? You know, I think they give you these little things though, whatever these are. I saw something, I'll show you too, in the kit. But how am I supposed to zipper? You know, there better be a zipper in that kit. Come to think of it. So there's a zipper here, zipper up here. A lot of zippers. So anyway, yep. Hey, all you gotta do is just make sure this thing, I ended up just pulling it and it pulled itself out. This is still a part of it here. I gotta get this piece out at least. Hold on. Yeah, it's still got there we go. It's coming now. I'll be able to pull that out. So here's the back. You know, I hope this thing, it's gonna work. I will tell you something. Can't imagine how tight this thing is gonna be when it's time to put it back. Boy. You know, I hope this window, you know, I have a funny feeling this window, yeah, it is. It's attached to this thing. It's attached to the headliner. So now, I don't know. I'm gonna have to figure this part out. Still have these pieces zipped. I will take them off. Yeah, I'm gonna have to pry those open with something small, a little screwdriver, and then pull them across, because I don't want to rip anything. This here looks like, hey, you take this off. It's under pressure right now, but when you put the top up in that position, I guarantee this will probably be a lot looser. Here's a problem though, what I'm seeing. This thing is still kind of connected. So, especially up here, I don't know. I gotta really investigate more how this is going to go, because the last thing I want to do is F up the interior liner. I have no desire to do that. I know these things will come out very easily. I had to pull this around. Just easier to cut stuff out of the way and rip it off. Oh yeah, still got to get this piece out, but it's definitely not going to be fun probably putting this thing back on. I don't know if the material is loose and then it tightens. You got to heat it up. Who knows, you know? I mean, a convertible expert will tell you, but they won't, because they want to charge you. And that's why, if you notice on YouTube, no one is showing you how to do this. Because if they do, then what the F do you need them for, right? Keep that in mind. Maybe I'll just drive around like this. All right, let me show you. So I use this little guy. It's got to be a really thin one, and then you're just prying that up. And then I'll do it on the other side too. But I'll go now one by one and do it. But you got to use a very small screwdriver. Or I guess if you have one of those pick tools, which I don't have. There you go. You know, just pulled it up, pulled it over on the other side. Those ones came right off. They just, I guess, ripped themselves out, whatever it was. I think I'm done for the day. That was a lot of fun. And yeah, you know what? Can't do everything in one day, but I got a lot done. And let me tell you, it's tiring doing it. So there we go. So in the eBay ad, it says to email them and they'll send you a PDF or something. Installation, actually, they didn't really tell you anything. I didn't think it would actually be this detailed in a sense. So it's pretty nice, actually. I didn't have it for the removal, but in reality, my problem, I believe, of course, will be putting it back on. It's going to definitely not be fun to put it back on. Oh, okay, it does talk about the rivets and stuff like that. There is some rivets I do have to still do for the glass. That's going to be fun too. And then, of course, putting back these top. It's definitely going to be difficult, but hopefully I'll be able to do it. But I am glad that they did send it. And let me tell you something. I emailed them first. I had to get it off eBay. They said go to the website. Of course, on eBay you can't message anybody anything anymore. I was like, yeah, I'm never going to get through these people, and they'll never send it to me. No, they sent it to me in less than 5 minutes, so really good customer service here. I'm very happy about that. Yeah, it's been like a week or so. Snowed outside, so now I'm back at it. You know what? Like I said, no rush. You know, I saw a video or something. They're like, oh, you should take out these rivets. I don't know if that is the case, but they did say go very easy. I don't know how this thing's actually going to go back in, to be quite honest. It seems kind of weird. But I do know that has to come out. guess it does. Well, I don't know. You know what it is? This one's really attached to the window. And yet, oh wait, maybe it is this one instead that really goes out. Yep, I think it might be that one. That one has to go back in. Yep, let me investigate this. But you know what's funny? Without me pulling this out, I wouldn't have really seen this. I think this is the metal piece they're talking about. Looks like this one does have the metal here, of course. Yeah, it's just kind of confusing because this particular top isn't fused like the original, of course. Like, you know, it's hard to say what's really going on here with all the other gluing that was done, and this piece here, of course, is from the old top. But it's just strange because a lot of this is the insulation here from what I could see, especially here. I don't know how you get this off. You know, it would be probably easier to really just break this glass. I'm not going to do that because it's going to create such a mess. But I would say, believe it or not, probably busting this glass would be a lot easier than doing all this other crap. Maybe this is the rivet too. They want you to, yeah, probably drill out this rivet here. On the other side, it looks like it was ripped already, so I didn't even realize. So, but yeah, let me keep messing with it and figure out the way it goes. I took this little screwdriver, popped it in there. So pop that out. You know, let me do it on this side. You know, I have to admit that it almost seems like this is more of a difficult part than anything. You know what it is? I'm scared. I don't want to destroy something that I'm going to need. Versus, you know, ripping off the top, that was easy. This back glass part now, I want to make sure that I have the proper figures. I can't get it. You know what? Let me just keep pulling on that side. I just want to be able to get this thing back on with all of, there we go, everything that should be on there. Oh, come on. I don't know. This definitely looks like it should be on the new one too. But of course it's cracking there because it is very brittle. Yeah, the other side was broken off already. I just pulled this one off. That goes here. Now this is the hard part, I would say, here, because this is attached, however you want to cut it. Yep, it's a part of this headliner. So I don't want to destroy this. I want to use as much, well, I don't need a saggy, I don't want a saggy headliner on a convertible, is what I'm saying. So now I got to really figure out, I know this is out, I could just cut this, because I got the new one, and then it comes out here for the rear defrost. That's not a big deal. But I want to be able to take this piece off here and then utilize it, because this doesn't attach to the headliner. Like it doesn't have a headliner in here, of course. So I need to make sure that I attach the headliner properly. Yeah, this is the end, so it would attach here. This is the part. And it has that nice piece around it. There it is. That's nice. I need to utilize that. I need to retain that piece. All right, so now took out the, oh boy, took out the glass here. In theory, at least I took out the line. Here it is right here. That was a T20, all right? But I still have to get that headliner part off now. Okay, for this thing is wedged in there pretty good. So what you want to do is take the flathead, kind of curl it behind there, push it out a little bit, and then this unit is in there. So what you're going to do is, it's actually going to be down a little bit. You're just going to push it up a little bit, the piece of plastic, and once you do that, it will come out, and then you could simply wrap it around. You could get it out just like this. You just take it out. But yeah, it could be a little tricky. I mean, this one was really in there. The other one came out right away very easily. That's always how it is. It's always the last one that's the hardest one. Now that is the real hard part to come. Let me figure this part out. Been using this little flathead. I went in here a little bit. That wasn't really it though. You know what? It's gonna crack. There's no way to do it. They do talk about these little metal clips here. They're still in there, which is great. So what I did was, believe it or not, I pushed down with the flathead in this section because there's nothing there. And then what it seems to be is, look, you're just pushing down all the way across. Actually, I might even be able to pull up. Here's another little hack that I did. So the problem was the glass was falling in. So I took 2 moving blankets and I stuffed the crap out of them in there against the rear headrests. And yeah, you know what, with the 2 hands I'll be able to get it, but really you just got to go nice and slow, which I'm going to do. But here's the thing too, look, this is a separate piece, so I'm probably going to have to do the same thing on this side. I'm going to have to push down here with the screwdriver and pop this out. It's done. You know what, really, when I was doing it, just had to kind of pull the window out of it and it came out. Yep, that's the end result. Window is out. It seems like it'll be next to impossible to get it back in, and that's always the case. Look at this, it's like so flimsy, this thing. It's really bad. It's scary. It's not as broken as you think. This actually gets put back on, the other one too on the other side, but it just it's a real be a real mystery. I don't know if I'm ready to attempt to put it back on right now, because you know what, sometimes you need a sort of mental break from doing this crap. It gets kind of annoying, you know what I mean? And you know, the other part was kind of simple. It was fast, if you ask me. But this was you know, a little bit of concern. I don't know, maybe it took me an hour. I wasn't really paying attention. But I would say that depending on your top condition, that doing that rear window will probably be the part where you slow down, taking off wise, the most, you know what I mean? Mine was all glued, crappy, and everything else. And you know what? It's like anything, you're doing something for the first time. You never know. I don't know what that is. You know what? Let's not mess with it. Everything is a procedure. Yeah, even to get out the rear defrost, it's like a real pain. You had to pry up these little guys and then push them out. Hold on, there's too much light there on the camera, but it's right here. Now I'm just trying to pull it out. Yeah, it's not easy. You know what, they make it look easy. Oh my god, it just doesn't want to come out. Why is that? On the thing, some instruction thing I have, yeah, just pull it right out like there's nothing else to it. Yeah, okay. Other side took 2 seconds. Yeah, see what I mean? You just never know. What I did do is, though, I did hold it with the needle nose pliers, whatever. You know what? You do have to cut this, and then of course it's a little zip tie. Then of course put it back. Just holds the wire in place, really. But everything's tucked under, and this got to get tucked back up. But yeah, I can't see you being able, the way, you know, especially you gotta take it off by cutting it, you know, the old top. It'd be too much of a pain in the ass to do it the other way, I think, at least. All right, zipper fun. This one I got, you know what, I did it a few times. I didn't like it. It was off. Let's see if it actually ends up being at the same at the end. You gonna help, or are you gonna scratch the top? Let me see. Yeah, it's still off. Yeah, it is off. See, look at that. So in other words, you know, look, one's factory, one is aftermarket, so it is what it is. They give you these little clips. Where did I put them? Of course, now I don't know where they are. But they give you these little clips that I'm going to have to put on too, and try to get those things on. So I guess this doesn't come apart. That's, you know, obviously it's not even, but I do want to kind of start it off even, at least on one side. This one was super quick. Other one took a little time. Look at this though, still uneven though. You know what, other side is uneven, this side is uneven, so I'm going to try to get it starting here even, you know what I mean, kind of change it up a little bit. I will tell you the other thing was a little hard, kind of getting these pins in. Oh, look at this, it looks like it's coming up already. Yeah, what the heck. A lot of fun here. You have to, after you zip it, you have to put these little things in, and then you have to try to clamp them. It really does suck, I'm not gonna lie. Broke a lot of them, twisted a lot of them. Don't use needle nose, use the full pliers. And the other thing is, when you do the zipper, you start it, put it on immediately, and then go all the way across. You know what, you'll save a little time because it may come off. It's a real pain. You know what, they didn't give enough of them. Actually, there's one other left and it disappeared, you know what I mean? So I have to work with what I have, so be careful. All right, now it's time to string this thing up. I'm leaving the little thing there, just tied up basic, nothing there. And I noticed on the other side when I did it, kind of just got caught a little bit at this place. Just go slow. Last thing you want to do is lose it. Then you are effed, you know. Guess you could find something to snake it back in, but it would be a little difficult, you know, unless you have something that could fit through there. Another day of the convertible top. You definitely need one of these, because especially you're doing it by yourself, you just need it. It just makes the job a lot simpler. So I don't have to do this, but I figured let me do it. It did pretty much go into its place pretty easily. I have to admit, you know, I thought I'd have to stretch it. I'm just going to keep it in this place before I attempt to put in these. And these are these plastic sort of channels here that this goes in the middle here, and you got this for the side, and this one's for the other side. So it kind of goes like you have to slip it in. I know this is going to be a lot of fun to do. And it's going to be a pain. So I figured let me get the fabric molded in a sense, or stretched a little bit. I don't know if I'm stretching or not. It's cold. It's like 11 degrees outside. It's 52 in here. I can make it warmer in here. It's pretty hot in here already for me kind of doing stuff. But yeah, that's where I'm at. These clips here, they're not even that hardcore in a sense. They're not like they're super strong or anything. But I figured let me just get this kind of surround, what would you call it, fold over. Okay, let me get the fold going so that when I do put in them, hopefully it kind of stays that way a little bit more. And I have to admit, like, this is really nothing. It's just holding. So maybe I don't even have to do this. I'm just gonna let this sit for a while, because you know what, I'm not in a rush. Like I said, it's winter time out there. That's why it's like, hey, whatever. When I get to these things, I get to it. Okay, now putting in this, I don't know, is it an attachment piece, whatever you would call it, in here. You know, the good thing about it is it supposedly it definitely goes in that way. The hard part, of course, we'll see if you could actually clip it in. But I have to get probably a rubber mallet. Yeah, I have to go up top on my property and get it. It's kind of a pain because it's cold outside. I don't really feel like getting, but I have to. But I will tell you, you know what? It's nice that it kind of stayed in the position. It's been like this for a day. Let's see if I could get these clips in here and it will actually stay in. If I can push it in with my hands, I'll try now. All right, I have given up. I can't get this thing on to save my life, you know. It's not going on. You can't clip it, then roll the top underneath it. I mean, I could get it in a channel, whatever, but then I cannot get the top to adhere to it and snap in a way that it will keep it secure. I used a rubber mallet, tried all types of things, WD-40, you know, kind of loosen it up, make sure it would get in there. Maybe it was just, I just can't get it in. So what I did is I rolled it. This is rolled over. And when you do that, it does go right into the channel. And now I've taken the T25s on that side and basically I've secured it down. There's also here, which is very easy. You kind of just put it up to where the hole should be, and then you just screw there and, you know, you pull it. It's tight. Just don't know if it's tight enough. But I shall see. You could see this side, there's gap. But if you go the other side, it definitely is in there more. So, but for right now, I got to give up on it because, you know what, I'm not moving forward. And that's what the issue is. There's no directions. There's no simple way to do it. So it is very, very difficult in that regard. This part looks pretty tight. I'm not going to lie. This part definitely doesn't. Remember, this isn't fully stretched in a sense. And this particular part is up a little bit more. But I don't even know if it's from not putting on that plastic channel. The thing about it is, too, I did not use the rubber gasket also. When I even took it off, there was barely any rubber piece, just like a little bit on this side. One of the reasons why, and I'll tell you, that I probably not going to put it, I don't want to take a chance getting that black stuff on this top. I'm sorry to say, it's just I don't want to take that chance. You know what? Will it leak? Not really sure from just doing that little thing. Now I got to pull all this stuff. Remember, this isn't on yet, so this thing is really not stretched in any way, shape, or form, but that's where I'm at right now. This took about a day and I didn't even do it right, so that's the other thing. Yeah, look at this rubber here. You can see it's kind of very dry rotted. I'm gonna put some stuff on it. Maybe even put some tape over this when I do put some like nice rubber restoration kind of stuff, some silicone. So this last one, oh my god, days. I lost the zipper, but even with the one that came with it, I could not get the zipper on to save my life. I ended up buying a kit. Hey, I don't want paw prints on, whatever. I ended up buying a kit from Amazon. No good. 3, 5, and 8. Turns out it's a YKK. And it was from a pair of shorts I had. Oh, look at that. Why isn't that working? Hold on, Ninja. Watch out, boy. Oh, that came out. Damn it. Let's see what that is about. You know what it is too? I had to open this up a little bit more. Maybe what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it back on and then close it with the needle nose. Pretty simple. You know, the one good thing is everything is the same. The T25s. This goes into here like so. It's very. This is actually an easier part to do. This is just basically holding the weight of the window. Okay. Needed my other hand to put this in the right way. Now it's going to be time to set up the rear defrost. Hopefully the thing will still work. You know what? I don't even know if it did work to begin with, but we're going to try to get it the right way. Now it's time to start tucking this guy in. And yeah, hopefully, I don't know. It's not definitely not as tight on there as it was from the good old factory, but let's see what happens when I actually do tuck these things in. Alright, so I actually curled this in from the middle. I sat up here, I got a chair, I sat up here, I did it that way. Reason why is because I didn't even realize it. It's a little buckled, like there was a little space, because this had to be pushed down more. Now, you know what, let me put this back up and try to curl these under here. I'd like to show you with the camera, I just can't do it because this is a real camcorder and I need my two hands. Now that I have this top tucked under, it's kind of like, it's definitely pulling a lot. I still have to get these sides on the right way. But you know what I think I'm going to do? I don't really feel like forcing it, but I think the pressure on here will kind of make it form to itself. I know these pros, they do it in one day, you know, in a whatever, couple hours. I'm not a pro, so I'm just going to let it kind of like stretch itself in this position and then come back. I still got to tuck these two guys under. I still have to fix inside with the interior, but you know what, I think I saw somebody online do something like this too. They kind of just left it, and I think I'm going to do the same. It's not outside, it's not in the heat, it's not stretching. I don't want to force it either. And then put it back up in that weird position that I have, and then kind of tuck these guys under. I mean, the cable's on. This thing is tight, definitely. This thing's not in lockdown position in the back, but you know what? It's pretty good. I'll stop here. Don't have to always do something in a day. I've been doing this for, you know, about a week or so. So I have been procrastinating on just finishing up, hopefully, these simple things, tucking it in. The other day I finally drove this car. You know, it has been quite a while, and I just tucked up the headliner. You can see here where I did not. This side needs to come on too. Yeah, I just have to finish this back. I don't know if it's easier just to keep it this way and do it, or should I put down the top? I don't know. I'm going to try it now. Looks like it's actually pretty easy to do it from the inside. I just clipped in the other piece there. Now I just, of course, got to do this other section. Get that in there. Definitely tell you. Yeah, you need two hands, so you know what? I have to pause this. Okay, not bad. Not very difficult at all. The only thing, I think I gotta put up the top in order. This piece is a little off. You know, I really can't tell where it's supposed to really go in, so you know what? I'm gonna lift the top to see. Okay, so I didn't realize, you know what? It is good that I kind of have to do it this way. This actually has to be tucked under. One is over and one is kind of under, so there is a difference. The other thing I forgot, push this in more, I have to just put this guy underneath there and then put the wire to it. Not a big deal. Got it right there, so that's not a thing. And then now I have to put this guy back into its position. Then they kind of want you to put a zip tie around it. Not a big deal. The only thing is this piece. So this has to go in there somehow. They say you should take out the rivet, put it back. I'm not going to do that. I think I could actually tuck this guy in there. Yeah, it feels that way. You know, it's going to be a slow process. Maybe rubber mallet it all the way across, and that will be that. But yeah, not bad. I don't know if it would have been easier just for me to put in the headliner this way, but reason being was, what's this piece here? Does that go on the other side, or it stays that way? Yeah, I think, yeah, that's right. This was all exposed, so, you know, let me untuck this guy. I got to put that up there. Yep, and that should pretty much do it for that. That seems to be sticking in there pretty well. They have these little pieces that they want you to put in there. I don't even know if I have to, really. It's kind of just staying where it's supposed to. These little, I don't know if you saw on the other side, the little metal clips. But they didn't actually fall off. Here they are right here. There's one, two. There's a few of them within there. So looks pretty straightforward. Clean this guy up and get it going. Like these got to go in there somehow too. Looks virtually impossible as usual, but we'll try. All right, little tip here that I noticed. I had some space here. There's unfortunately a cracked, but actually that kind of made it easier to kind of put it in and out. But I wasn't able to put it here on the bottom. Then I realized there's a little bit, if you notice, hold on, right here. There's like more of a tip here for the rear defrost, and that wasn't lining up, so I had to unfortunately take out the top piece. I don't know if I'm gonna have extra for some strange reason when I try to tuck it back in, but yep, that's what I kind of noticed. That may save you a little time, because I noticed the other side was in perfectly, and it was lining up. Yeah, look at that, it lines up. Now let me just tuck in the top, and hopefully I don't have any excess, because I definitely had it on the other side. See this part here? It's got the tip there, kind of like protects it just a little bit. Yeah, I really hope I could get this thing in without, yeah, actually it looks like it may go in, but of course when I turn off the camera, that would be a different story, right? Nothing could be easy. Of course, if I had my other hand, it would be a lot of, you know, because I could put it up. But you know what? I was a little confused. I was putting it in. It wasn't doing anything. Then I was like, oh, does it go up to here? No, it actually just goes along this track. So not as bad as I thought. Let me just finish it, and I'll show you the complete. Voila. Not bad, not bad. I'll tell you, in my whole career in the automotive industry, everybody always doubted me. Basically ran a pre-owned, very successful Audi VW store when I was younger, and I used to take home the cars, and guess what? I would know everything that was wrong with them just by driving them. Oh no, you don't know what you're talking about, blah 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 blah. Yeah, guess what would happen? We would then put those cars out on the road, and then they would come back like boomerangs, because nobody effing wanted to listen to me. But that's just everything. So the last part here, I'm gonna put this panel back on. Where'd I hide that panel? There we go. So this is also good to see, because one of the biggest things was when I was taking it off, I did not want to break this piece. You know what I mean? I just, so it does have these kind of grommets, whatever they are, tabs to hold it in place besides the torque. So just take note of kind of where they are. This way when you're pulling it out, it wasn't difficult to pull it out, thank goodness. I had to undo the Torx because I forgot that it has to slip under. It wasn't hard at all. Remember that I wanted to see if this thing would hold without those plastic clips. I mean, the true test will be, I haven't really extensively driven the car, but of course when the rain, I did not also put any, I did not put any window gasket sealer on those sides. I don't want to take the chance. I would say, you know, the best thing you could do is be careful not to ruin your top. This one's red, whatever. So some other idiot, disgusting backyard mechanic with an A4 with a tan top, and his hands are filthy, dirty, disgusting, and he's working with the top. What do you think's going to happen? You're never going to get that off the top. Of course, with black, it's more forgiving, but why take a chance? Another tip, like I told you, don't be silly. You don't want to take a chance, especially with a certain color, and get anything on it. You know what I mean? This guy is nice and stretched now. Now, this is pretty much complete. Now the other problem is, I just got to get the top to work. Yeah. Hey, listen, follow me for, it feels like it's even harder with the new top, of course, to kind of put it down manually. But follow me for more stuff on this S4. Definitely do yourself a favor. Rescue all of them. What a beautiful transformation compared to what it was and what it is now. Yellow calipers. They're kind of yellow, but actually they're orange. They're caterpillar color. Looks beautiful. I'll show you some shots of it outside, and kind of cleaned up a little bit better because it is a little bit dusty. But yeah, you know, I know the car is a nightmare. The engine's a nightmare. Find someone who could fix them because they're just so much fun to drive. I've owned a lot of Audis, and you know what? This one is really exciting to drive. Even with the Tiptronic, I got to admit, I didn't think it. I had the sedan with the 6-speed. Not as much fun to drive, go figure. Even with the 6-speed, this one's even faster. It's quicker. It's more fun. 88,000 miles on this car. You know, I have a 10-second microwave outside. Boring as hell to drive. I'd rather drive this.